Hey guys, it's Gaz here and welcome back to another CBNPC TV review video. Now for this review we're going to jump back a few weeks to when we actually received this rifle and we did an unboxing. I have a vague idea of what's in this box, but I'm not sure what brand it is or anything other than it is a gas blowback rifle of the HK416 flavour. So let's open it up, take a look and see what we've got. So I can just put it into the actual... I totally missed what I was going to do then. I love this black stuff, it's great. I got a roll of it at home when I'm sending shit out, I always wrap it in this. Alright, so... it's WE Tech, which is cool. Anybody want to comment on my knife handling skills? Is there safety issues that I've got going on here where it's just flying out and stuff? But it is, I am holding my finger right on the end so I know where it's going. I've just stabbed your box. Alright, put that away now. So what we got here is a WE Tech HK416 and it's a gas blowback rifle, of course. Let's get that out of the way. So Elliot's been after a gas blowback rifle for a good long while now. He was holding a few down at the Airsoft showcase and he was debating whether to get one when we turned up to FUBAR Bundy the other day, and he saw a few on the wall, had a little bit of range time with them, had to get one, and this is what he came away with. Oh, the warranty seal is there. Got to cut that. Alright, this is looking interesting. What's this thing? I'm guessing that's some kind of rudimentary speed loader. So we got the FUBAR Bundy warranty here. And there we go, good old FUBAR Bundy patch. And then another FUBAR Bundy patch. Another FUBAR Bundy patch in different colours. We've got one in tan and two in green. So one matches the rifle at least. Another FUBAR Bundy patch. So here we are, the WE Tech HK416. We'll just put that there and have a quick... So it comes with an armourer's wrench, which is pretty useful for taking off that foregrip and that, and a couple of Allen keys. I'm assuming one possibly for the hop. And then it comes with another buffer spring. So Steve at FUBAR was telling us the other day that they do come with a second recoil spring for the buffer tube. So one will give you a harder recoil and the other will give you a lightweight little Nancy boy recoil. You know which one I prefer? Right, so we'll get the box out of the way because we know everybody wants to see the main event here. So is this sealed in here? There we go. Oh, that looks awesome, dude. Look at that. So now we've got the unboxing out of the way, we're taking a look at WE Tech's 888 series HK416 gas blowback rifle. Now this rifle weighs in at 3,300 grams, is 770 millimeters with the stock fully retracted and 850 with it fully retracted. It has a 360 millimeter barrel inside, so it's kind of like your mid-length carbine rifle. Now this is part of WE Tech's gas blowback line of HK416s, which falls under the 888 line. As far as I can tell, you can get three different versions of this rifle. You can get the carbine length in tan like this, or in black, and they do the compact version, the 416C, also in black, and that's got that piddly little girly stock that nobody really likes, unless you're a shitbag, and then you might like it, but in that case you're just wrong. Anyway, this, as you can see, is the tan carbine version, and it feels like it is built like a brick shithouse. Everything you would expect to be metal on this gun is metal, front sight, outer barrel, the sights, the front handguard, the receiver, all the working parts inside. Everything is metal aside from the actual buttstock and the pistol grip. The pistol grip is your standard slimline HK416 style, and it's very comfortable and it's very stippled on the side to aid with grip. The stock is a 1, 2, 3 position take on the standard old school LE style stock, which are my favourite kind of stocks. There's none of this fancy fannying around with compartments you can put a battery in or cheek rests or other shit that just gets in the way. It's a no-nonsense stock that does the job. Like I said, it is fully extendable, so for you big boys you can use it, or if you're a little girly boy like me, you can get it in here and it's nice and tight to you. The sights on this are your standard HK style sights, and they are very reminiscent of the MP5 or the G3, whereas they have 3 apertures on the rear and a combat sight and a fixed blade on the front, which is open top, unlike the MP5s that have the full ring. These are obviously removable, and you can attach any kind of optics you want onto the upper monolithic rail. Like for instance, we've got a Chinese EOTech replica on here, which really suits the aesthetics of this gun, and you can see that it's mounted to the midpoint, which proves that it is a fully monolithic rail and you can mount optics at any point on this without interfering with it. The handguard does come with 3 other rails, one on the lower, one on the right, and one on the left. There are no markings on the rails, but they look fantastic anyway, and there's no movement, no playing it whatsoever. It is solid as a Norai brick. Now, these are ideal for mounting any kind of lighting system, a PQ box, foregrip, or a shit ton of cameras if you're anybody like me. So this is a great platform for a very modular weapon system. As you would expect with any HK416 or AR style platform, it has your standard magazine release where your index finger would lie. The fire selector is on the left hand side. It is not ambidextrous, although the markings are on both sides. You'll find that it, just similar to the real rifle, you cannot actually activate the safe position without the rifle being charged. To charge it, pull back on the wings, let it go, and then you can put it into the safe position. The fire selector rotates 180 degrees through all 3 positions, as you would expect, from safe to semi to automatic. The bolt release is functioning. It's on this side, as you would expect. If you pull back, there we go, the bolt holds open, and then you can hit that bolt release and chamber a new round. Although you can disengage this by pushing this little tab on the magazine in and pulling this little switch back. That cuts off the magazine follower from going all the way up to activate the bolt release or the bolt lock. So if you want to dry fire this for a video or just to fanny about to show off and get some pussy, then you can do that. Or if you just want to use it in a game as standard, you can reactivate that and your bolt release will work. Unfortunately, due to licensing restrictions, you aren't going to find any realistic markings on this gun aside from that on the fire selector. On the fire selector, you have no bullet, bullet, many bullet, which is the standard HK markings for the 416 series. It's an idiot's guide to what comes out at the end when you pull the trigger. So if we remove the flash out of here, you have your standard counterclockwise backwards thread that you would expect on any airsoft gun. You can put a sound hog on there or a suppressor or a trace unit, whatever you want. It should fit on there as standard. I do believe you can actually remove the outer barrel, but I've not tested it. So at the moment, that's just speculation. So if you know any further about that, leave it down in the comments. Mounting a sling to this, your options really are using a sling around the rear hoop here, the rear sling ring here, which is a little bit loose, but you can obviously tighten it up with a screw at the back. And you have 2 tiny little rings at the front. There is no buffer tube sling ring, which is something that I always look for in an AR rifle, and if it hasn't got one, I add one onto it. I'm sure you could put one onto this, but it might have to be military spec or real spec because of the way the buffer spring attaches, the buffer tube attaches. So when you first open the box, you're going to be greeted with several accessories. Obviously, you get a single 30-round magazine. You get the world's worst speed loader. By calling it a speed loader, it's a crime against other speed loaders. This kind of hinders loading the magazine. It's an absolute shit stabber of a bit of plastic. So we'll chuck that over there. You do get an armorer's wrench, which is ideal for tightening up the buffer tube. here or removing it, etc., and tightening up the delta rings and any other maintenance work you need to do on the rifle. You also get a couple of Allen keys. One of them, I believe the smaller one, is for adjusting the hop up. We'll go into that in a second though. And you get 2 of these buffer springs. Now, I believe the one that's in there already is the high recoil one, and this one is a bit looser, it's a bit slack, is your high rate of fire, less recoil. Now, I say high recoil, it isn't that high. It's kind of similar to firing a 22 rimfire or maybe a 9mm. It does kick, but it's nothing too severe. So to get to the hop up, like I mentioned earlier, you pull back the charging handle, lock the bolt open with the bolt catch, and just inside there, you'll be able to see the actual hop chamber. Just above it is a tiny, tiny little grub screw. You're going to want to put that little Allen key in there, and you can tweak it up and down to your favorite flavor of BBs and get that hop dialed in nicely. Unlike most gas blowbacks, like a lot of the gas blowback pistols by WE, where you've actually got to disassemble the gun to adjust the hop up, this is actually readily available and is very similar to the AEG, although you need a tool to actually do it, so that is one advantage. So if you remove the rear pin like this, it doesn't come all the way out. It does function like the actual real AR. It stays in there. You can actually get to the buffer spring inside, and if you push in and push that little thing down, you can actually get the buffer spring out. So there's the buffer spring, and you can switch them out. Yeah, this one's, I'd say this one's the higher recoil spring, and this obviously pushes the working mechanism forward with more force and gives you more kick. So we'll just put that back in. It's very, very similar, frighteningly similar to the real firearm when you're looking at these parts. And if you didn't know it was a gas blowback, and if you didn't know about it, you could mistake it for a real firearm. There we go. So that's in. The working mechanisms are all down here. Again, it looks very similar to the real firearm, and the upper does take out like the real part. It all just comes out with the charging handle. Very simple to disassemble and reassemble. So if you need to do any maintenance, this is an absolute dream to work on. So with the hammer in the rear position, to reassemble it, you just basically close it up and push that pin over. Give it a quick test to make sure it's still going, and you're good to go. So if you are a stickler for realism, and maybe you play a lot of milsim games, and the 30-round magazine capacity doesn't bother you, and functionality and similarity to a real firearm is what you go for, then this would be an ideal weapon system for you. I can see on this, just your normal walk-on game, you're being absolutely outgunned, even by mid-cap wankers like myself. But, I mean, the fun of firing a gas blowback rifle that functions and cycles like a real firearm is unsurpassable for AEG standards. And one advantage you're going to get over an AEG is the trigger response. As soon as you pull it, when that hammer hits forward, it's releasing the gas and releasing the BB down range, so it's instantaneous, and your follow-up shot is instantaneous. With an AEG, when you pull that trigger, it pulls the spring to the back and releases it, so you get like a microsecond. It's only like 125th of a second, but you still get a slight bit of lag, and the gas blowback users have got that advantage over you. So now let's take a look at the magazine. It's very well built. It does look very similar to the real magazine. The top parts up here are all metal, although feed lips, I do believe, are plastic. So if you are going to be 86 in this magazine and chucking it on the floor to get a new one, like you're doing your exaggerated C-clamp, get that magazine out there, get a fresh one in there, you're going to destroy your magazine probably. And they are reasonably expensive, so maybe don't throw these about like you would a plastic mid-cap, because you're probably going to do some damage to it. As you would expect, gas goes in the bottom, the input valve is there, or the inlet valve, and the striker valve is there. I nearly pressed that, and this has got gas in it, because that would have been an amazing outtake, just me getting a face load of bukkake gas like that. So yeah, 30-round magazine, just like the real AR-15 and a real HK416. So like I said, ideal for you milsim wankers out there who want realism, and yeah. Now we've talked about the magazine and the actual weapon system, Let's take it over to the 30-meter range. We'll put it through the chrono and we will put it to the test at the 30-meter range. So for the range, we're going to be testing this initially on neutral black gas. We do have some propane we can put in there as well. It is going to be reasonably cold because it's just about to turn February. It's England. It's a bit fucking nippy. So it's not ideal operating temperatures for this weapon system. So it might chrono a little bit low and we might not get a full mag of gas out of it. But we're going to see what happens and we'll come back after that. Headshots. Okay. That hit a peg, didn't it?
It probably hit me then.
No. Lower. Oh! Well, one more.
Maybe not exactly the same spot.
Yeah. No, lower. Yeah. That was the money.
Yeah, that was the money.
That was a money shot.
And they were back from 35-meter range. Chronoed very reasonably there, as you'd expect, even in cold weather. A very usable gun. I might run it on green gas or propane just to be on the safe side of those FPS limits. But yeah, very nice weapon platform. As you can see from the accuracy and the shooting results, this is very usable in the skirmish field. If you're an A4 size target at 35 meters, you're going to get shreked. And we're not really going to be shooting at anything smaller than that unless it's just somebody's head popping around or somebody's just got the leg out or dick's out for Harambe, you want to take that thing off. You know, you're going to hit it. It's a very nice weapon platform. It's very accurate. And on automatic, man, that is an amazing fun. If you haven't fired a gas blowback rifle on automatic, I definitely recommend you get out there and put some rounds down range because, shit me, it's fun. It is so much fun. Anyway, would I recommend the WE Tech HK416? If you are really into realism and the 30-round magazine capacity doesn't bother you, definitely go for it. You can't have much more fun than a gas blowback rifle. If, however, you run high caps in your standard guns and you're used to just spray and praying, this might not be the weapon system for you. But if you're a collector, I do recommend owning at least one gas blowback carbine or rifle. So this is a good choice. It looks good, it feels good, it's built like a brick shit house, and I mean, look at it. So I should mention, we picked this one up from FUBAR Bundy. Steve gave it us at a very competitive price. If you want to take a look at one for yourself, I'd recommend heading over there and saying hi to Steve. He's very knowledgeable on this weapon platform, and he'll let you handle it, fondle it, and play with his balls, or at least put some down range. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the review. If you're into gas blowbacks, definitely pick one up. They're pretty balls deep. If you've enjoyed this video, or if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts on this rifle or the video in general, just leave them down below in the comments section. As I usually say, leave your reviews down below. Like or dislike as you feel appropriate. If you know somebody who might like this, share the video with them. Share it on Facebook, on all your favorite social medias, like Tinder, Grindr, or is there one called Thrinder for getting three-ways these days?
Is that a real thing?
I think it's a real thing. I always...
Shadi, wake up. Shadi, is Thrinder a real thing? What?
Thrinder, like a Tinder sort of thing where you can have three-ways.
I'm not in there.
Maybe you should check it out, you might get some action. This is the HK416 by WE Tech. This is CBNPC TV. Thanks for watching. And remember kids, the air may be soft, but our balls are hard. And what? So yeah, I was kind of disappointed when I checked out Grindr, because I thought it was going to be for old ladies like grannies, granny Tinder. I mean, you still get some action on there, but it's not what you might be expecting. Anyway, don't forget you can check out these other videos. Right? Whoa, he's standing like a magic thing!
Wow.
Look at that, that's brilliant. But check out these other videos while this stands here before it falls over.
Dude,
Like,
that's like a really well balanced gun.
it's a really well balanced gun. Don't forget you can click on these other videos. See you later, guys.